Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the Art Holistic Healer, aka Sonya B. Welcome. This is Reiki Time with Sonya B. Today we're going to be talking about the 7 chakra system, but we're going to be talking about the major one out of the 6 chakra system for today only. So today I am wearing the color red because red is representing the root chakra that we're going to be referring to today. So I just want you to know the root chakra is basically located at the very base or the spine of the pelvis floor, and just to kind of give you a location of where it's located at. And that root chakra is tied to the foundation of all the other chakras. Okay, so it is related to basically your human needs, which is your survival, your security, as well as your stability in life. So keep that in mind as well too. So not only that, but the root chakra is responsible for helping us to stay grounded to this earth and allowing us to feel like we feel connected and to the people and the things that are around us. So keep that in mind as well too. So basically, we have 7 chakras within our energy center field, which is again at the very pelvis floor or the very the very base of the spine, leading all the way up to our crown chakra, which is right here in the center. Just think about your nose and go straight up and down. Anyway, so we have that is our energy center field. Some people refer to it as our meridian as well too, or our chakra system. Usually, kind of referred to maybe like one of the 3 that you may hear people associating with. So anyway, so the correspondence of these different chakras are tied to various organs as well as nerves as well too. So we're going to kind of get into just a kind of brief small discussion. I just kind of want to give you guys some pinpoints of when your root chakra is in balance as well as when it's out of balance. So keep in mind that too, that when they're out of balance, sometimes things can arise in your life, like emotional issues, should I say, or either physical ailments as well too. So keep that in mind, and we're going to talk about a little bit of those as well too. So anyway, let's get in. Okay, so I wanted to also say too, I forgot to tell you that there are the root chakra is tied to the reproductive system. So those the things, well, we all know what the reproductive system, but I'm just going to tell you anyway that so anytime these things are out of whack too, it's usually tied back to having a either overactive chakra, a decalcified chakra, meaning that it's not working at all, or just having one that's just out of balance that just needs to be needs to be realigned. So anyway, so the reproductive system that connects to the root chakra, basically the testicles, the vagina, the pelvis, the legs, the feet, and your tailbone. All of those are associated. So if you should have any issues at all with any of those type of things, usually that relates back to the root chakra. And usually, as I said before, either, if one could be experiencing some physical ailments, it could be associated back to some sort of emotional ties that could be maybe something that happened to you, an emotional experience that happened to you maybe growing up, or sometimes, we carry stuff from past lives into this lifetime. It's imprinted in our DNA. So with that being said, it's almost like, when those issues come up, it's almost like they come up for healing in order for us to deal with them and to release that energy from out our energy field so, that we can move forward and feel better. And basically, this information is based off a holistic, alternative, like healing method, should I say. It's not your modern Western type of healing where, it's into medication and, again, well, let me state this. I am not a doctor and nor am I diagnosing anybody. I'm just basically telling you, the meridians and the chakra system is basically based off of Eastern philosophy for their alternative healing methods that they use. But not only that, but a lot of Reiki providers, Reiki practitioners, and so on use the same methods as well too, because basically it's an energy system that is not made by man. It is an energy system that is basically based off a life force energy that is channeled energy from God source spirit. So anyway, And just to keep in mind too, the root chakra is tied, because we talked about the reproductive system. So if you're someone who is experiencing issues in regards to erectile dysfunction or having fertility issues, whether you're man or female, usually this refers to having a root chakra that needs to be back in alignment or somehow uncalcified. I'm sorry, y'all, forgive me. It's a little cold, just a little chilly. Still got the AC on, even though it's kind of a little cool outside. But anyway, so with all that being said, so just keep that in mind too. So if you're someone experiencing some sort of fertility, we're in Mercury retrograde, bear with me. Any fertility issues that could be tied back to the root chakra. And I'm sorry, and if you look right up here, you see the red too, I have the various colors as well too. So anyway, I just thought about that. So anyway, let's move on. Now let's talk about when we know our chakras are in balance. When they're in balance is when we're grounded, we feel centered in life, we're loyal, we're secure, we're have a good elimination process, meaning like you're able to basically, let's say, things in places that do not serve your highest good. In other words, like, have you ever went to a place and you feel like, oh, the energy in here is not good? Just having a sense of being aware of knowing when to not put yourself in certain situations or eliminate yourself from situations and not to go back into those certain situations. So just having a good elimination process. You're disciplined. You're healthy, pretty much. Engage. You're healthy and you're engaged in life, and you're able to enjoy life. So in other words, just engage, being in the present moment, just enjoying life, enjoying nature, enjoying what it has to offer, and so on and so on. Enjoying the things and the people around you, providing that they're not things that are draining you of your energy or, altering your energy field. Take it how it resonates. Anyway, so how to know when your root chakra is out of balance? You may feel you may not feel safe in your body. You may feel a sense of experiencing like laziness, like not having a drive, not feeling like you don't know what to do next in life. And I'm sorry for the pause, y'all. Just bear with me here. Not sure exactly where to go next in life. So not having a sense of direction, in other words. Symptoms could be signs of depression, fear, insecurities, feeling like you do not belong. Another sign is constipation. So if you're someone who's constantly always dealing with like constipation, and an obsession, attachment to money, in other words, greed, in other words. So there's a healthy way to make money, and then there's an unhealthy way to make money as well too. So keep that in mind too. And usually let's see, and also I had some additional notes too. Also, so inflexibility, not being able to be inflexible, just with others, that sometimes we think it's just our way when it's an even give and take. Jealousy could, is tied to that as well too. We already talked about laziness. We already talked about depression. So, and then not only that, but being aware of having self-acceptance of yourself, meaning like you accept yourself right where you are. You're not beating yourself up. You're not being too harsh on yourself. You're not saying, oh my God, why can't I be like this person? But you're accepting yourself just how you are. But you also realize that there's probably room to grow, and that, you give yourself that permission to know that in due time, that there's always room to evolve. So now we're going to talk about some associated illnesses that comes with the root chakra. Okay, so bear with me. So heart disease is one, weight problems, migraines. People sometimes experience a situation of cancer, and just know that sometimes these things can take place. It just depends on what you have going on in your life. It may not be, every root chakra is not necessarily tied to these different illnesses, but if these different illnesses should appear or come up, it's because they are tied back to the root chakra in some sort of way, whether it's emotionally or whether it's physically. What was that? Drug addictions, or sex addiction, and even tied to like alcohol addiction. So if you think about anything addictive, candida, which is like yeast infections, lower back pain, herpes. We already talked about constipation, poor immune system, anemia, adrenaline fatigue, and arthritis. So all of these things can be tied back to your root chakra in some sort of way, again, whether it's physically or whether it's emotionally. So anyway, so some ways that you basically can ground your root chakra if you are not having, like, let's just say a Reiki session done, because Reiki, what Reiki does is Reiki helps to bring a lot of that positive life force energy back into your body to help put it back into alignment, and help you to help your body to heal itself back to its natural state. And again, as I said before, to get it back into alignment. Anyway, so ways to ground yourself or to balance that energy of the root chakra is being out in nature. That's so important, because it's something about being out in nature where you're amongst the trees and, just nature itself. It's almost like being out in nature gives you a spiritual cleansing, in other words. So if you think about the trees and the bushes and stuff that's on the trees, every time you go out into nature trails and so on, it's cleansing you. It's cleansing your energy field. And it helps you to start feeling better about yourself. And then walking barefoot in nature as well too, that's also helpful, because it helps to the earth magnetic field. It's like the energy from the earth magnetic fields, basically it's being pulled up towards your feet. And that's also like, if you just imagine yourself having roots at the bottom of your feet and submerge your feet into the grass, or even if you have shoes on, you could do this as well too. Just pretend like, use a visual of pretending like, whether you're in your house, in your bed, meditation, or just in general, just sitting somewhere, even in office space, you can do that too. Just pretend like you're standing in grass and pretending like you have roots down at the bottom of your feet, and like the roots are just growing down into the ground. That allows you to become grounded as well too. But again, this takes energy, effort, as well as practice in order to do this as well too. So anyway, with all that being said, that is pretty much it. And that was, let me see, was that it? Yes. Hold on one second. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, I had a side note that Spirit wanted me to remind you guys. Like, so let's just say hypothetically, if you're someone that none of these things are not applying to you at this present moment in regards to the root chakra, I say all that to say that, and even if it's the whole chakra system, period, like if you're someone who completely feels grounded and, you have a sense of you're secure, you're stable, and, you have basically no worries about life or whatever the case may be, just know that know that sometimes when you go to different places or you're around different people, let's just say, even if you had to run to the mall or whatever to go get a new pair of shoes or something like that, and and the mall is not some place that you normally will go to, and if you find yourself going into the mall and then you around these other people and then your energy field starts to shift a little bit, like it's all of a sudden your mood starts to change, that's something to be mindful of too. Spirit wanted me to bring that to your attention. That's something to be mindful of too, because obviously that energy or that the energy or the frequency that is around you, that if it's altering your energy field in some way, shape, or form, like let's just say if you were happy when you were going into the mall, then all of a sudden you go into the mall and it's all like, your demeanor changes or whatever, that's something to be mindful of as well too. As well as part of using your intuition as well as your gut feeling of just what you're sensing, that's what's taking place at that time, because sometimes other people's energy being around us can kind of like, it just depends on how if you're someone who protecting your aura and it's very strong, not saying that you may not be affected just a little, but a healthy strong aura will basically help kind of fight off other people's energy in a sense. But you're someone who's sick, when you're usually when you're sick, that's when your aura field is being compromised. Your first aura is basically, and what I mean by aura, I don't want to get off in detail, but spirit is taking me there. So imagine me having like this bubble all around me. That is considered your aura. That is your first defense of fighting off any sicknesses, any negative energies, and so on and so on. That's your first line of defense, should I say. So even though you would think your body is or your skin is, no, that is your first line of defense, which is your first aura that shields you and protect you from, you know, any of those low vibrational energies from other people. But again, if you are someone who is sick or experiencing any type of, you know, illnesses of any kind, then it makes it more susceptible. Am I saying that right? Susceptible for that energy to kind of penetrate through your aura, should I say? Because that aura, that aura is there to shield you and protect you, your energy field. Again, you know, to keep you from getting sick, and keep you from experiencing other things, and so on and so on. But anyway, let me leave it there. I just had to share that because Spirit wanted me to share it. So I thank you all for joining me for this Reiki time with Sonya B. When I am able to do so again, we'll be getting into the sacral chakra, and that's basically the orange color. So I hope I can find an orange shirt. I don't even know if I have one in my closet, but anyway. So again, I will be color coding these themes because again, red represents the root chakra. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy this day. I hope this information was helpful, and I hopefully you'll join me next time. Thanks. Much love, much light. Bye.